Imagine waking up every morning without that unbearable burning in your feet, without the constant tingling that prevents you from holding a cup of coffee firmly, driving safely, or even enjoying a simple walk with the grandchildren. If you're over 50 and living with that nerve damage, that numbness, chronic pain, or weakness that many doctors say is permanent, know that you're not alone. Millions of Americans face just that every day. But what if I told you that a single vitamin can reverse this in a few weeks? Doctors are speechless with the results they are seeing in patients. Hello, I'm Dr. Natisha James, and I've dedicated my career to helping people like you regain your mobility, eliminate pain, and get back to living without limitations. All in a natural and accessible way. Feel free to write your city in the comments below. It's always a great pleasure to hear from people across the country who are struggling with this and looking for real solutions. And if you stick to the end of this video, you'll find out exactly what this vitamin is and how it's changing lives. If this resonates with you, like us now to help more people find this information, and subscribe to the channel by activating the Tinker Bell, so you never miss the weekly updates that can transform your health. Let's start this journey together. Let's talk openly about what you are facing. Nerve damage, or peripheral neuropathy, is not just an age nuisance. It is a real condition that affects millions of Americans over the age of 50. Studies show that the prevalence can reach 28% or more in adults with diabetes, and even without diabetes, it is estimated that between 10 and 26% of people over 50 live with symptoms of neuropathy. That means more than 20 million Americans, maybe someone in your family, a neighbor, or even you, wake up every day dealing with it. The symptoms are relentless and progressive. It starts with a slight tingling in the feet or hands, like needles or pins and needles. Then comes numbness. You can step on something sharp and not even feel it. Many describe a constant burning, as if their feet were in hot coals, or sharp pains like electric shocks. The extreme sensitivity makes even the touch of a sheet hurt. Over time, muscle weakness, difficulty walking, loss of balance, and even atrophy in the muscles of the legs appear. It robs you of your independence. Walks in the park saw a fight. Driving becomes risky because you don't feel the pedals well. And the worst, the risk of falls increases dramatically. Research shows that people with neuropathy are up to 3 times more likely to fall, which can lead to fractures, hospitalizations, and in severe cases, complete loss of mobility. Millions of elderly Americans fall annually because of it, and often nerve damage is the silent culprit. Without proper treatment, the condition worsens. Peripheral nerves, which transmit signals from the brain to the body, are increasingly damaged. The protective sheath, myelin, wears out and communication fails. Many patients tell me, "Doctor, I feel like I'm losing control of my own body." And the most frustrating thing, many doctors say it is normal with age or irreversible, focusing only on relieving pain with remedies that mask the problem. Understanding this is the first step. Because, contrary to what many think, nerve damage does not have to be permanent, especially when we attack the root of the problem. In the next moment, let's explore exactly why this happens so much after the age of 50, and why most traditional treatments fail to really fix it. Now that we understand how much this condition affects millions of Americans, let's get to the heart of the problem. Why does nerve damage become so common after the age of 50? It's not just getting old. There are specific causes that accumulate over time, and many of them are silent until they explode into symptoms. The number one cause in the United States is type 2 diabetes. More than 34 million Americans live with diabetes, and peripheral neuropathy affects about 28% of adults over 40 with a condition. That's more than 4 million people with diabetes alone. High blood sugar damages nerves over the years, especially in the feet and hands. But even without diagnosed diabetes, prediabetes or insulin resistance can start the process. Natural aging is the second big culprit. After 50, our body absorbs less essential nutrients from food. This includes vitamin B12, which is crucial for nerve health. Studies show that B12 deficiency affects 5 to 20% of older adults in the U.S., with rates rising to 15 to 40% at low serum levels. Why? The stomach produces less acid and intrinsic factor, which are needed to absorb B12. Many take common medications such as proton pump inhibitors or metformin, which make this worse. Other factors include excessive drinking, which is common in many Americans, exposure to environmental toxins, autoimmune diseases, and even nerve compression from arthritis or hernias. But the key point is, after 50, these causes combine. Silent nutritional deficiency attacks the myelin sheath, the insulation of nerves, making them vulnerable. Without this protection, electrical signals fail, causing numbness, burning, and weakness. I see it every day in practice. Patients who think it's just age, but it's actually something we can address. It's not inevitable. Understanding these causes shows us why so many traditional treatments fail to reverse the damage. They treat the symptoms, not the root. In the next segment, we'll look at exactly why conventional remedies and approaches leave so many Americans still suffering, and why a different solution is shocking doctors. We've come to a part that many of you know all too well: frustration with traditional treatments. Millions of Americans with peripheral neuropathy go to the doctor, get prescriptions, take medicine for months or years, and still wake up with the same burning, numbness, and weakness. Why? Because most of these treatments don't attack the root cause. They just mask the symptoms, and often at high costs to the body and wallet. The most commonly prescribed medications in the United States for neuropathic pain include gabapentin and pregabalin, from the anticonvulsant family, duloxetine, an antidepressant, and unfortunately, opioids for more severe cases. Studies show that these remedies relieve only 30 to 50% of the pain in many patients, and this in the short term. For example, comparative research indicates that none of these drugs is a clear winner or highly effective for most people. The relief is partial, and the effect decreases over time, requiring larger doses. What about the side effects? Gabapentin and pregabalin cause drowsiness, dizziness, bloating, and even mental confusion, especially dangerous for adults over 50, increasing the risk of falls. Duloxetine can bring nausea, dry mouth, and sexual problems. What about opioids? They are particularly worrying. Long-term use for chronic pain is linked to serious risks of addiction, tolerance, and overdose. Millions of Americans have already faced the opioid crisis, with thousands of deaths annually related to prescriptions for chronic pain, including neuropathy. Studies highlight that chronic use leads to addiction in many cases, as well as hyperalgesia. The pain gets worse instead of better. The biggest problem: these treatments do not repair damaged nerves. They block pain signals in the brain or temporarily reduce inflammation, but the myelin sheath continues to deteriorate, and the damage progresses. Many patients tell me, "Doctor, I spend hundreds of dollars a month on medicine, but I still can't walk properly." Invasive surgeries or therapies are also expensive, risky, and rarely reverse the condition. This explains why so many doctors are surprised by different results. Results that come from an approach that attacks the nutritional root of the problem, rather than just covering it up. In the next segment, I'll reveal exactly what this vitamin is that's reversing nerve damage in weeks, and why it's leaving doctors speechless. Stay with me, because this may be what you need to finally get rid of this pain. We have come to the moment you have been waiting for. The vitamin that's leaving doctors speechless and reversing nerve damage in weeks, especially for people over 50, is vitamin B12. But not just any form. It is methylcobalamin, the active and most bioavailable version of B12. This particular form penetrates directly into the nerves, promoting real repair rather than just temporary relief. Why does it work so well? Methylcobalamin acts as a powerful neuroprotector. It stimulates the production of myelin, the insulating sheath that protects nerves, reduces oxidative stress, inhibits cell apoptosis, and promotes the regeneration of damaged nerve fibers. Studies show that high doses of methylcobalamin accelerate functional recovery in nerve injuries by improving nerve conduction and reducing symptoms such as numbness and burning. In systematic reviews, it has demonstrated promising therapeutic effects for neuropathic pain, including postherpetic and diabetic pain. In the United States, where B12 deficiencies are common in older adults due to reduced absorption, supplementation with methylcobalamin is showing surprising results. Patients report that the burning in their feet subsides, the tingling subsides, and muscle strength returns, often within a few weeks. This is no coincidence. Science proves that it supports nerve regeneration, especially when the damage is linked to nutritional deficiencies or diabetes. I see it in my practice daily. Patients who thought they would never walk without pain again are coming back to live fully. Doctors are surprised because this is natural, affordable, and without the heavy side effects of conventional remedies. But how does this vitamin actually work to reverse the damage? In the next segment, we'll dive into the science behind it, simply and clearly, so you understand why it might be the turnaround you need. Stay with me. Now that you know what the vitamin is, let's understand exactly how it works in your body to reverse nerve damage, and why results show up within weeks, especially for adults over 50 in the United States. Methylcobalamin is the active form of vitamin B12 that your body uses directly. Unlike the cyanocobalamin common in many supplements, it does not need extra conversion. It acts as a powerful neuroprotector, promoting nerve regeneration on multiple levels. First, it stimulates Schwann cells, the builders of myelin, to produce more insulating sheath around nerves. Studies show that methylcobalamin promotes the differentiation and proliferation of these cells by thickening myelin and improving the speed of nerve conduction. In models of nerve injury, such as crushing of the sciatic nerve, methylcobalamin accelerates functional recovery, increases myelin thickness, and reduces nerve fiber loss. It also inhibits ectopic spontaneous discharges, those painful shocks, and modulates neuroinflammation, decreasing oxidative stress that worsens damage in diabetic or age-related neuropathies. For older adults, this is crucial because B12 deficiency affects between 3 and 43% of seniors in the U.S., depending on the definition, often due to reduced absorption. Low levels of transcobalamin-bound B12 indicate compromised myelin and slower conduction in the nervous system. Supplementing with high doses of methylcobalamin corrects this by promoting remyelination and axonal regeneration, the growth of new nerve extensions. Reviews and clinical studies confirm, in peripheral neuropathy, including diabetic, methylcobalamin improves nerve function, relieves symptoms such as numbness and burning, and supports myelin integrity. It's not magic, it's biology. It provides the fuel your nerves need to repair themselves, something ordinary remedies don't do. This explains why patients see relief within weeks. But don't just believe the science. Look at the real evidence and testimonials from people like you who are reversing this. In the next segment, we'll dive into the proven results and stories that are changing lives. Science doesn't lie, and the results are striking even skeptics. Recent clinical studies and meta-analyses in the United States and globally confirm the power of methylcobalamin for peripheral neuropathy, especially in adults over 50. A 2020 systematic review analyzed multiple trials and showed that mecobalamin improves nerve conduction and relieves neuropathic symptoms within weeks. In a 2021 randomized trial with diabetic patients, 1 mg of oral methylcobalamin for 12 months improved all neurophysiological parameters, pseudomotor function, pain score, and quality of life. Another meta-analysis highlighted that combinations with methylcobalamin for 2 to 4 weeks bring better results in nerve conduction velocity and symptoms compared to controls. Safety is excellent, no serious adverse events in treatments of 1 to 24 weeks. The benefits are clear: rapid reduction of pain and tingling, restoration of sensitivity, improvement in balance to prevent falls, and support for nerve regeneration. Many patients see significant relief within 2 to 4 weeks, with continued progress over the months. John, 62, from Texas. My burning feet had been constant for years. After starting high-dose methylcobalamin, within 3 weeks the pain decreased by 80%. Today I walk without fear. Mary, 58, from Florida. I could barely hold things because of the tingling. In 4 weeks my strength returned. I was able to dance on my granddaughter's birthday for the first time in years. Robert, 67, from California. The doctor said irreversible, but this vitamin changed everything. No side effects, just freedom. These stories are common in my practice and in thousands of accounts from Americans over 50 who finally find real relief. With evidence and transformed lives, it becomes clear. You don't have to suffer anymore. In the final segment, we'll recap everything and take the next step to get you started on your recovery journey today. We have reached the end of this journey, and I hope you are as inspired as I am. Peripheral nerve damage affects more than 20 million Americans over the age of 50, robbing them of mobility, sleep, and joy with symptoms such as burning, numbness, and weakness. The common causes: diabetes, reduced absorption with age, nutritional deficiencies, lead to a progressive deterioration of the myelin sheath. Conventional treatments such as gabapentin, pregabalin, or opioids mask pain in only 30 to 50% of cases, with severe side effects, addiction, and no real nerve repair. But methylcobalamin, the active form of vitamin B12, changes that. It promotes remyelination, axonal regeneration, reduces inflammation, and improves nerve conduction, with recent studies confirming significant relief within 2 to 4 weeks and sustained improvements within months. In trials with diabetic neuropathy, high doses improve nerve function, pain, and quality of life. For adults over 50 in the United States, where disabilities are common, this is especially powerful. Affordable, natural, and without the heavy risks of traditional remedies. Doctors are speechless with the results. Patients like John, Mary, and Robert have returned to live fully. You don't have to accept this as part of age. Nerve damage does not have to be permanent. With methylcobalamin, you can reduce burning, regain sensitivity, balance, and independence, often in a few weeks. Here's what you can do today. Click on the link below to access a high-quality methylcobalamin supplement. I recommend doses of 1,000 to 5,000 micrograms daily, but consult your doctor first to customize. Many offer free trials or exclusive discounts for those who watch this video. Do not miss this opportunity. Include a practical guide to diet and habits to maximize results. Consult your doctor before starting any supplement, especially if you have pre-existing conditions. Results vary, but thousands of Americans are seeing real change. Don't wait for the damage to get worse. Your life without limitations begins now. Thank you for watching. If this touched you, like it, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more transformative content. Write in the comments, "I'm ready to reverse this." Tell me about your city. Let's build that community together. Take care of yourself. You deserve to live without pain.